Hello friends, I'm Rachel Richards, licensed massage therapist. So pleased to be back here on Melissa's channel. If you have not subscribed to Melissa's channel, please do. She puts out great yoga classes every week and her content is just full of wonderful tips and techniques for self-care and well-being. And when you're done with this video, please come on over to my channel because we're doing a collaboration today. So you'll get to see Melissa's video that she made for me. And we are doing the topic of self-forgiveness. So if you saw my last video, we did a collaboration on self-love, and in that video we were more sort of turning inward, exploring how we felt internally, playing with the idea of shifting things inside of our bodies. Today, on the topic of self-forgiveness, I'm thinking more of an outward opening yourself to new possibilities. So if you harbor guilt and resentment over mistakes that you've made in the past, it's keeping you stuck. It's keeping you stuck in your past. You can't really move on. And in addition, you can't really forgive others or empathize or have compassion for others if you haven't truly forgiven yourself. It puts you in this position of being stuck in the past and all of this self-loathing and negative feelings that will really hinder you on a day-to-day basis. So we want to see if we can let go of those feelings. Put the mistakes in their past where they belong. The past is just that. It's the past. It doesn't even exist now. The only reality is now, here, this present moment. And if we can learn from our mistakes and move past them, then we can go on to live our lives and become the wonderful people that we were meant to be and increase our ability to empathize and have compassion for others. If you love yourself and forgive yourself, you can do the same for others, right? So I'd like you to open yourself up to the idea of forgiveness, introduce the concept, the idea of new possibilities and new ideas. Allow yourself to be creative, allow yourself to be inspired and feel changes today as we do a lovely self-massage to help us open ourselves up to self-forgiveness. The first thing I'd like you to do is think about that feeling of self-loathing, of guilt, and think about the area in your body that is responding to that the most. Where do you feel that negative thought, that negative feeling in your body? It could be anywhere. Some area that tends to tighten up or maybe feel a little sick or congested or achy. Think about that area, and I want you to warm up your hands and place them over that area in your body. Just rest them there. And take a nice deep breath right into that place of self-loathing. Breathe into it, give it space. And then exhale it out. And see if you can begin to let it go. With the warmth of your hands, offer it love, compassion, empathy. You are human. We are all human. We make mistakes, we learn, and we grow. So let's let it go. Breathe into that area again. Nice big breath, giving it fuel and oxygen and nutrients, blood flow. Breathe in. And then relaxing and letting all the tension, all the negativity seep out on the exhale. One more time, explore how this area feels when you give it space to move and change and release. Breathe into it one more time. And let it go. Great. Let's start with our feet. So many wonderful juicy points on the feet that can make all sorts of our body feel different things and relax, and it can give a profound sense of calm. So just start with your thumbs. I'm just doing sort of some circle motions, little. And if you see, I'm leaning my body weight so that we're not working our thumbs or jamming our thumbs. We don't want to hurt it. We're leaning into the foot, and you get a deeper pressure and a much nicer pressure when you do that and leaning with your body. You can also use some knuckles and see where there are areas that feel tight or tender. Give it some love, maybe hang out there a little longer. A lot of us feel a lot of tension in the arch, so I'm using also my fingers here. This way, if you change up your tools, you don't get tired or achy. It's a little trick of the massage therapy trade. Change up those tools. And maybe strokes along the arch of the foot. And then you can move it along, going from inside to out. Just strokes upward from the heel towards the toes. Feels so good. And now I want you to find what's known as the solar plexus reflex. So, if you go right into the middle of your foot and you move upwards, you're going to land in a really soft, squishy place, just in the center here, right under the toes, right? The big bumpy parts of the toes, right? And then in that soft place, and it probably feel a little sensitive, just lean into that with your thumb and notice how that makes you feel. Some people feel a profound sense of calm. You can also do little circles in this area. Go easy, it's probably pretty sensitive. Take a deep breath. Great. Give the toes a little pull, a little traction. Might get a little cracking knuckle there. Okay, and let's switch feet. So switch the way you're crossed. And let's begin again with the other foot. Nice circles, lean with your body weight. Already your body should be feeling calmer, receiving new information, clearing the mind, putting away the to-do list, all of the other things, and just being here, being present in this reality now. Okay. Maybe some circles on the arch of the foot. If you have flat feet or very high arches, this area could probably use some extra attention. Start going heel to toe, stroking upward. Nice line, lean into it. Leaning over on the pinky side. And then again, let's take our thumbs and go right up to that wonderful, soft, squishy solar plexus right there. You're going to feel it because your thumb is going to sink right in, and it'll probably be a little sensitive. So just hang out there and breathe. You can make little circles if you like. Great point. And now while we're on the feet, we might as well go ahead up and give our calves a massage. So very often when we're tense, as we are when we feel guilty or resentful, a lot of us clench our toes, clench our feet. And speaking of which, we didn't pull the toes on this, did we? So go ahead and give them some traction. There you go. We don't want that to be left out. So when you clench your toes, your calf muscles tighten up as well, and it can cause all kinds of aches and pain, like Charlie horses that you wake up in the night and they're just killing you, which by the way, I have a video on how to get rid of those calf cramps. Check it out on my channel. So I'm just with my thumbs doing some circles, pressing into the sort of that meaty tissue on the calf. And if you go right in the middle, so where the Achilles tendon is, and right up the middle, you're going to get to where the two heads of gastrocnemius meet, right in that septum, right between them. That's probably a little tender and probably pretty tense. So you can make some circles right in there, gentle, don't hurt yourself. Squeeze those calf muscles. Squeeze. Stay tuned. I'd like to do a video all on self-massage for the calves, so look out for that. Squeeze. And let's switch to the other calf. Right? You can pick it up. This is called petrissage, lifting the muscle off of the bone. That's another great thing to do in these big meaty calf muscles. Wiggle the toes, make sure you're not gripping. Soften the feet. Press in with those thumbs if you like. Again, leaning with the body weight so that your hands don't get tired or achy. Finding that septum in between those two gastroc heads and giving that a little rub, a little circular motion. And if you want, while you're there, you can also give the Achilles tendon a little kind of grab and wiggle, loosen it up. And then like the other side, let's just give it some real big squeezes. Hug your calf. Yeah. Feels good. All right. So a lot of us also get very stuck in the hips. Often we're sitting on our bottoms a lot when we work, but we also tend to clench. The glutes is another area where we tend to clench. So what I want to do is a little self-massage for that. There's a neat thing you can do here. If you go ahead and cradle your leg as if you're going to do your piriformis stretch, sort of, cradle it like a baby, and then lean back. Here. Lean back on your forearm of the same side, the same leg that you're cradling, and start moving around on your hip, right around that bone, that greater trochanter, and inside, and you'll start to feel kind of those deep lateral rotators like piriformis, and you can get gluteus medius and minimus if you go onto the side. Oh, those are sore on me. Yeah, just using your body weight and rocking gently. You can use the leg and do circles. You can stretch with the other leg if you want. Anything you want to do here. It's sort of, this is your time to explore and release, open, and let all that tension from the hips just go. Nice. All right, so let's go ahead. Gently bring yourself up. Cradle the other leg. Lean down gently on your forearm. And let's give this one a little massage. So just exploring. Feel free to do whatever you like here. Stretch, but get right around all those hip muscles on the side, go in the back. Gluteus medius and minimus on the sides. And if you rock back just a little bit more, you can get piriformis. Some of you, when you reach piriformis, you'll be like, oh, yeah, that's where that is. That can get really tight. All right. So let's come back to sitting up. Let's start doing a little massage on our hands. We tend to clench and make fists. Some people even do that in their sleep. Open them. And let's do some hand massage. Just making little circles on the palm. Find areas where it feels tense. Hang out there. You can press, or you can do a circle. Some great areas are the two pads. So you've got this pinky pad under the pinky, and then that big old thumb pad right over here that tends to get very tight and tense when we're typing and texting, and especially with the handheld devices. You can pull with fingers, give them some traction. I like to kind of wiggle, open up those joints. Now, if you make a fist, a gentle fist, right where your middle finger presses in, there's a really great point there. And you can go ahead and take your thumb and just press into that. It's called Lao Gong. It's Chinese. It's one of the acupressure points. And it'll probably also be a little sensitive. It's a soft area where you can go in, but it can be profoundly relaxing. Open up the hand. Just, you can rest there or give it little gentle circles. Great point. Let's switch and do the other hand. And try to keep the massaging hand as relaxed as possible as well. It's one caveat to massaging yourself. Get those pads, the thumb pad, thenar eminence. Sounds very regal. The thenar eminence. The other side. And across the knuckles. Pulling the fingers, maybe twisting, opening your joints a little. And again, let's find that Lao Gong. So making a fist, and right where your middle finger ends up in that soft, squishy, sensitive point, hang on right there and take some deep breaths. Great. Shake out the hands. Roll the shoulders. Make sure they're nice and relaxed and open. When we roll the shoulders in, squeeze the shoulder blades together in the back, which is a good introduction to paying attention to our sternum. So that bone right in the middle. When we're stressed, when we're resentful, when we're guilty, we close off and we protect this front of us. It's sort of an innate kind of defense mechanism we have to protect this very vulnerable front of our body. Right now, I want you to explore the feeling of opening that up, and go ahead and put your fingers right on the sternum and just press for a moment. Just press into that bone. Let it lift you a little higher, lifting the chest. Deep breath right into it. Start doing some circles. One way. Might be a little sensitive. And go the other way. And because our tissue here tends to pull us down, let's do a little what's called myofascial release to pull it back up. So you go to the bottom of your sternum. We can go like, it's kind of like right in between the nipple line, and bringing the fingers upward, right? And then you're just going to let the tissue melt and release. So I'm not forcing, my trajectory is upward, but I'm letting the tissue melt. Sort of the tissue is moving my fingers more than my fingers are pushing the tissue, if that makes sense. And when you've got it, you'll feel it. It's very relaxing. Just let it glide as the tissue melts and softens. And as it comes up, maybe sit up a little taller. Smile. Great. And while we're opening up the chest, let's do a little pectoral massage. So you can do some circles on the pecs right here in front of the shoulder. It gets so tight with our hunched posture, our computer posture, our defensive sort of feelings, and of course, our trouble with self-forgiveness, closing ourselves off in the front. And we can do some myofascial release here too. So start at the sternum. So you'll feel where the side of the bone ends and meets the rib cage here. So you start there, and you just allow it to release out towards the shoulder. You might do a little rotation, active release to help it along, all the way out. I like to continue even over onto the deltoids. Why not? Okay, let's do the other. And make sure the massaging arm is staying nice and relaxed and open. Starting at the side of the sternum, bone right there, that breastplate, and where it meets the rib cage. And then you can even, if you have prominent ribs like I do, you can even put your fingers in between, in the spaces in between the ribs, those intercostal tissues, and give those a release while you spread and stretch out across the pectorals. Breathe. Take your fingers, interlace them, put them behind your head, stretch your elbows wide, pull your shoulder blades, your scapula together and down the back, and gently do a little chin tuck. So you're tucking in the chin towards the spine, and just open up that whole region. The front of the chest, the back of the neck. What a great stretch. So open. Feel flow of air and energy and forgiveness. Just feel it open and moving. Let's not get stuck. Let's unstick ourselves and move. I had a massage therapy teacher say, if you're not moving, you're dead. So let's keep moving. Just a little side stretch. Okay. Ears. So many wonderful points on the ears. So let's start by just doing some little circles here. You can start at the top and bring it around. Ear massage is always so good. On the lobes. Do some pulling. So pull up. Helps to stretch all that cranial fascia, all that connective tissue around the skull that gets so tight, gives us headaches. This helps to stretch all of that. It even connects right into the dura mater, which surrounds your whole spine. So just think about freeing up your spine while you're doing this. How neat. Great. You can even go in the ear a little bit, around the inside, sort of like smaller circles. Move the whole tissue. You're not just rubbing over the skin, you're moving all the tissue. You can probably see it on me, that it's all moving. Find the tippy tops of your ears, and I want you to make a line from the tops of your ears right up to the very top of your head. That's your Bai Hui point, also in Chinese medicine. And it's a wonderful point for calming the mind, opening yourself up, getting taller. Deep breath. Just put some nice pressure on that. It's right between your skull bones, your parietal bones. You might be sensitive to. Give it a little circle massage. And come off of it, but still feel it. Still feel the sense of that Bai Hui point. And feel it lift you, almost like you have a balloon attached to your head and the string is right at that point and it's floating you up. Just floating the spine up nice and long. Turn the palms up. Roll the shoulders back. Forgive yourself. Move on and be great. Take another deep breath in. Exhale it out. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Please remember to subscribe to Melissa's channel and come over and see the videos she made for me, also on self-forgiveness. Subscribe to my channel. give us the thumbs up. And if you know people who could use some self-forgiveness, please share the videos with them. Be well.